This is the stuff dreams are made of. I'm writer-collector Ryan Condal.
And I'm writer-collector Dave Mandel, and you're listening to the original movie prop collecting podcast once again. Yay! Brought to you by Heritage Auctions. They've got their big upcoming entertainment Hollywood auction extravaganza in Dallas, July 16th through 18th, 2025, preceded on July 15th by the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Collection. So ultimately, 4 days of nonstop Hollywood auction
Action.
Goodness.
I think it's 5, right? Because isn't
the
isn't
15th,
DeMille
the
auction...
16th, the 17th, the 18th. 4. No, 4.
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Got it.
The DeMille is the 15th. Then the 16th has 2 sessions. One is the Bob Peak.
there are 2 sessions on
the
one
Bob
day.
Peak collection, and then into the regular auction stuff. And then one session on Thursday and one session on Friday. So it's a very busy
5
time.
sessions.
Yeah.
4 days. I'm not in the camera.
5 sessions, 4 days. Cecil B. DeMille, Bob Peak, and so much more. It is wild and it is crazy, and we're going to be covering all of it. We're going to be diving into all of it, starting today, starting with Cecil B. DeMille. But before we get to Cecil B. DeMille, Ryan, we're back.
We're back. Yeah, again.
Yeah, they pulled us back in.
Yeah.
We thank you to all of the listeners for all the very kind letters and the offers of, I don't know, various like pledges of whatnot, of which ultimately we think we've at least figured it out in the meantime. But sit tight, everybody, and don't spend your pledges on props. Hold on to them just in case. But we've pieced together a new season with chewing gum and rubber bands, and we're excited. Hopefully this is all working itself out. So we are back. You are shooting, so it's always exciting, just sort of finding the time in the nooks and the crevices. And we're also getting close to Comic-Con. Are you coming? I forgot even to ask you. I can ask you on the air. You're not
sadly.
coming. They're not having you there for something or whatever. Oh,
No, nothing's going on officially because we're in the middle of shooting, so there's just nothing really, and it would be too disruptive to promote. And I just can't get away this year. It's July is the teeth of the schedule. It's sadly the first one that I will have missed since 2008, my first one, right after I moved to LA. So,
very sad.
Other than
Very
the lost
disappointing.
COVID years, but I will make a triumphant return next year, Dave, and it will be a one for the ages or something.
Will promotion be next year? Does that work out?
I would hope so.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, I would hope so. I thought it was really great. We screened that episode last summer there, and I thought that went, was a really cool event, went really well. So I'm hoping that we can just do something again, like
right.
that, something surprising, for the fans to just sock the Comic-Con audience like right in the middle of it.
Nice.
So. But no promises. But stay tuned. I mean, that's my great hope. I will be pushing for that,
Right.
Because I love going down there and doing that stuff.
Well, on a personal note, I will be sad that you are not popping into town, albeit
Yeah.
briefly. It's always that sort of little. I'm sure it's exhausting as F for you, but it's a nice little bonus for us here in the States. You pop into LA for a day or two, you pop down to Comic-Con, and then you go home in a body bag. But but it's good for us. Good for us.
They zip me up and they throw me in the hold and send me back to London. So I'll be checking. I'll be looking for photos and text messages to feel like I'm there while we're shooting. So, but it's been, I think we must have kicked off filming right at the end of the last season. So we are a full, like 10, 11 weeks in now. It's like really in the thick of it. We have 2 units running, location work starts, now. So we are running all over. So 1 unit's on location, 1 unit's at home, madness going on everywhere, death, destruction, fire and blood. It's all happening. And
so
it's
when
really,
this
really
is
cool.
just a question from my perspective. When you have 2 units going, does that mean at any given time you're sort of cross-boarding 2 episodes, basically? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah. So you the schedule is built around sort of, we shoot out sets and locations, sort of in order. So, this year the throne room was first. So anything in the throne room, we just kind of shot it out and then wrapped the throne room.
So different directors are popping in to do their
Correct.
piece of the throne room, even if the throne room is episode 8 and episode
Correct.
10. Everybody swings in, does their sequences, and goes, basically.
Correct,
And then
yeah.
the throne room is gone. Wow.
The
okay.
last thing, unfortunately, that's given any kind of weight in the scheduling is continuity and shooting in order, because it
Or
just has to go.
apparently Comic-Con.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah. Unfortunately. And then the way they break up the schedule is you can group, you start with the director team. So our director teams are first AD and director of photography, and then stage and set, and then proportion of the cast. So, only one director can shoot one thing at one time. Only one cast member can be shooting at one time in their sort of world or storyline. And then you can only film one thing on one stage at a time, or one, so if we're on the back lot, only one unit can be on the back lot. So you have to break it all up by cast members, director team, and stage / set / location. And that's kind of how they break the schedule up. So, obviously, this week we will have one unit away filming, so that will be I think 2 of our directors are sort of swapping back and forth away, and then one director is here at home filming for most of the week.
Wow.
Doing things. Yeah, the schedule
It is really like
yeah.
moving an army. I mean, it's very similar to the show itself. You're sort of you advance on towns and take them over. That's wild. Yeah.
We have the wonderful Toby Ford, who's our lead first AD on the first season. He also AD'd Game of Thrones. He's a familiar face to anybody that's seen the behind the scenes stuff on Thrones or on this. He's become our scheduling producer. So he's an AD, but he does not. He runs the floor in an emergency if somebody gets sick or something's going on, or a splinter unit pops up or something like that. But he spends all of prep in his office just building the schedule and trying to keep the thing in line. And then things happen. Set's delayed.
Of course,
It doesn't come online at time. An actor gets sick, something like that. Somebody has a wedding, and things have to shift and move. And costumes, or the way the costumes department plans a certain costume being ready is based on where it lies on the schedule. So if you try to pull something up and the costume's not ready,
that thing's not. We don't have that yet, or we don't have that weapon, or we don't have that prop, or whatever it is, because we were told it was not shooting till August. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's really wild.
It's interesting. I mean, having Veep was nothing like that in terms of multiple units or anything like that. And even I just, I remember our scheduling discussions, and this just feels like to the third power. You know what I mean? It's just exponentially more complicated, but just fascinating.
Yeah.
I will tell you a funny story, and then we'll get to actual props. My first season of Veep, which was my first season after taking over for Armando, they had moved from Baltimore, and they were and we sort of replaced a lot of the production people. But they were sort of still doing it the way they did it, even though we had new people. And what that meant was we had an AD who was doing the scheduling, who was the only AD on the show. And so he basically was the AD on the floor, but was constantly sort of trying to sneak out to do the scheduling, putting the second AD in charge at different periods and whatnot. And we sort of made it through one season of that. It worked such as it was. And then we were finally able to do a 2 AD system where that way somebody was working and somebody was prepping and scheduling, and then they would flip it and whatnot. And everything got a lot easier when we actually moved into the 21st century. So yeah, anyway, just kind of a funny thing. What's new in props, Ryan? You got something? We've had a couple of weeks. Yeah,
a small thing. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Lake Como Comic-Con, which I mentioned last year. The Comic-Con that's sort of built around original art and original art collectors, comic art specifically. And it was a great time. I went with a friend of the show, Kelvin Mao, and my friend Robert Wyndham, another collector. We had a great time, ate a bunch of pasta and pizza, drank a bunch of Italian wine, and then hung out and talked all things art with a bunch of cool artists. J. Scott Campbell was there, his first appearance at the show. We saw Frank Quietly was there. Our friend Joseph, who is represents Frank. It was just a great time to catch up with all these artists. John Romita Jr. comes to the show, so you kind of see him and get to wave and all that. But Mark Rotz was there, very talented illustrator, artist,
illustrator. Yes, artist. Illustrator is a good word for him too. Yeah,
and he actually made this terrific piece for Kelvin. I don't know if you saw it, this Hedy Lamarr piece that he did, and he kind of drew her in black and white.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't help it when I hear the name. Yeah, sorry. It's Hedley.
It's very good, and it was just incredible. The likeness is just wild. I mean, people call him the sort of heir apparent to Struzan, and you can see why that is with his character likenesses and the media he works in and all that. But he did a piece for me that was not actually commissioned by me. He was just drawing it at the show, and I just loved it, so I bought it. But he was drawing Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this colored pencil thing. And I was just kind of staring at it all weekend while he was working on it at his desk, and I said, "Has that been claimed?" And he said, "No, it hasn't." So we did a deal, and I'm bought it. He finished it before the end of the show, and I took
I'm surprised it lasted. I'm surprised it was not like
So am I. I think
people must have assumed it was. You know what I mean?
I think they did, and I think they started asking someone. After I asked, so he made sure that I was, "Do you want it?" Because other people are starting to ask. I was like, "Well, now I certainly do." So I grabbed it. I sent you a photo, but we'll post it on the feed. I have a nice scan of it. Really, really cool. Obi-Wan holding his lightsaber up in triumph, or as if teasing you with it, saying,
"Nice,
find my lightsaber because it's still missing."
As if saying to you, "Don't watch the Disney Plus show. It's not that good."
Yeah. Warning. Oh man. And so I that was neat. Just another little art acquisition. I have a bunch of other things cooking, but I will talk about those as I kind of have things to show. So we'll do that. We'll unfold these things as the season goes on. A bit of a display thing that I'm doing, a bit of a restoration thing that I'm doing. So stay tuned. What about you, Dave? What's new in props?
I have sent some new pieces or had things measured and whatnot for oncoming displays, and we'll get to that when they sort of show up, which I'm excited about. A couple of interesting pieces. Nothing giant, but just some things so that they sit better on the shelf. One of them including, I got a chance to see your pulse rifle. A stand had been made at Prop Store. I'm not supposed to say Prop Store, but anyway. I saw a stand that was made for you, and I basically ordered the same. I basically said, I'll have what he's having, and got one of those for my pulse rifle, which has not shown up yet, but it's going to show up, and then the pulse rifle will be on a stand. So I'm trying to some of the things that have been for, I guess, just laying on their side and leaning on the rear of my display case, I'm trying to put in, have little stands made and whatnot. And we're not talking about giant elaborate things, but just things to hold things. I mean, that's the easiest way of putting it. Yeah. So I am very excited about that. My one pickup, or recent pickup, I should say, which I was very excited about, is like you, I sort of have been surfing eBay for call sheets, just running the search of call sheets and whatnot. And a really interesting one popped up, which was a call sheet from The Shining that came from, I think, somebody who was involved in the stages, I guess. He was sort of something that was connected to, was that Elstree? Yeah, the Elstree stages. So it was some sort of administrator or something from Elstree who was selling off, or his family, or somebody was selling off a couple of different pieces that he had, including from The Shining, a call sheet. And what I love about this call sheet, it has shown up and it's incredible. And I have framed them before and just put them in simple frames. This one, I may break my own rule, and I may very carefully remove the stapler and pull the third sheet off, because it's a pretty standard 2-page call sheet, which is, the normal crew stuff and whatnot. But where it gets really interesting is the third page is a hand-drawn map of the hedge maze with arrows showing routes and where people are going to go and whatnot. And it takes this call sheet and, to me, just elevates it in Shining World. I don't know. I mean, I just because of the sort of the hedge maze. So I'd love to have sort of the call sheet next to the third page, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
great,
the hedge
cool.
maze, the hedge maze thing is fabulous. I'll put a scan up so you guys can see it. It is just a crackerjack call sheet. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't see that in my
sorry,
scans. Was it the only one that popped up?
Of that, he had other. I think there were other things Elstree related that I can't remember what they were, so I apologize. But that was the only shining one that was up. There were not multiples. Yeah. So I was very excited about that. And
great, congratulations!
It came
6 score.
Yeah, no, like I said, the hedge maze part just really mind blowing in a wonderfully Kubrickian way. So
yeah, good.
That was my what's new in props, and I was very proud of that and very excited. And also, it did not cost $3 million. I should note that.
That's always nice.
Nor $2 million, nor $1 million. Yeah,
that's
it was
always
very
nice.
nice.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oof. Great. Well, we have a big old chunky couple of episodes. This is going to be broken up into
as many as we can. Yeah,
multiple episodes here because this is a big old sale, and it begins with the Cecil B. DeMille collection. So this is a collection, obviously not coming from Mr. DeMille, who was a wonderful director from the silent era, who of course crossed over into talkies and famously appeared in Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I feel like I know him best, I guess, really from appearing in Sunset Boulevard, and I guess as the director of what I realized much later on in my sort of film-going career, he did 2 versions of the 10 Commandments. There is the version we all know and love, but there is a earlier black and white silent version that I've never seen, but
yes, I've never seen the silent.
Yeah, quite. Certainly, there is no Hollywood without Cecil B. DeMille.
But he directed like 100 movies. I mean, it was because this is back in the day when you were making movies on the regular. If you were doing not even full features, but 2 reel and 3 reel and things like that, and crossed over the 2 eras. And he's from an era that I just don't. I know the studio system era pretty well. This is sort of predates / folds over with that. He did a ton of Westerns. So it's going to be fascinating to kind of page through this auction because a lot of these movies, just frankly, I can't speak for David. I just don't know a lot about, but I'm fascinated to see what
there are as many that I don't know about, and now 1 or 2 based on just like looking through the catalog where I'm like, well, I got to at least check this out. It looks like I had no idea it even existed. Yeah. And then you do get to these, the sort of certain ones where you like, again, like 10 Commandments that you've seen or know about. He really expanded, I guess, the language of film. I mean, I think the word epic exists because of Cecil B. DeMille. And, I think just the scope, and when you see sort of, and what this catalog really has, which is incredible, is a lot of his pre-production art and stuff. And really, again, just the size and the scope of what he thought was possible with a movie camera. I mean, it helps define the entire movie industry, to this day in a way. This is a wonderfully wild collection. I guess it belonged to the family. There's that barn museum. Do you know what I'm talking about? Across from the Hollywood Bowl. It's like, no. It was like the original film company of, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I don't even know. As we chat, I can try and Google it. It's like an early Hollywood, like film museum, from the like Cecil B. DeMille and like maybe Lasky's company.
Okay.
But it's like a barn basically, because that's what it was. Yeah. And I don't even know if it's still open. If it made it through. Here it is. The Hollywood Heritage Museum is located across from the Hollywood Bowl. It's housed in the Lasky DeMille Barn. It is the oldest surviving motion picture studio in Hollywood. It features exhibits on the history of film, including the studio's role in the birth of Paramount Pictures and the first feature-length movie produced there. So I highly recommend people checking this place out, the Hollywood Heritage Museum, right across from the Hollywood Bowl. There are some of this stuff are things that I feel like I saw versions of in this museum, but this collection, this DeMille collection, is wonderfully giant. I don't know. There's no other word for it. And so this catalog is July 15th, 2025. This is in Dallas, and it is not officially connected. It is its own standalone auction, but it is the front day of the rest of the Hollywood stuff, and obviously it is Hollywood.
It's the first course.
So to me, this is basically day one before day one, or day zero of the Hollywood of the Heritage Hollywood auction, and it's really something to see. So Tuesday, July 15th, 11 a.m. Central Time. 274 lots from the DeMille collection. You can download the catalog, I believe, online or follow along online. We're going to just kind of go through it. Normally we've sometimes, picked out favorites. I think we're just going to kind of go through it and page through it because I think we were personally more unfamiliar with it than we were familiar with it. But yes. Really just wonderfully insane stuff, and let's just maybe just dive on in and kind of get going. I don't know what else to say. It starts and I just so we can not repeat ourselves 1,000 times. I think any piece in here that if someone from the Smithsonian or the Academy Museum or, whatever just said, oh, please don't bid on it, we really need this for our collection, I would be the first to go, God bless you. You know what I mean? Like this is, I wish there was some crazed billionaire that could just buy it all and hand it over to one of these museums because it will be ever so slightly a shame for this stuff to get broken up. It's so incredible.
It could be its own exhibit, honestly.
Oh yeah. It's
kind of, I don't know if it's its own museum, but its own standalone exhibit at one of those museums.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, it feels to me a little bit like what the Academy Museum is missing in terms of telling the story of the film industry in California. Yes, the beginnings, exactly. And the first lot is basically his DeMille's camera from The Squaw Man, which is his 1914. It's basically regarded as the first feature-length film, basically. I think it was made in that barn.
Yeah.
It's The Squaw Man. It launches DeMille's career, and this is the camera. This is the start of Hollywood in some ways. And it's just incredible to see. I love that it's got his name on the side of it. Like, I guess, I don't know, were there other cameras around and he wanted to make sure no one took his? I don't know. But just incredible. And really the birth of Hollywood. I'm in awe of it. Yeah.
And Paramount Pictures. So this film, they're saying in the lore led to the kind of foundation and birth of Paramount when Lasky from Lasky Films and Adolf Zucker, who is the founder of Paramount Pictures, joined forces and founded the studio. It was sort of catalyzed by the Squaw Man in this film.
Just honest to God history. I don't know what else to say. It is incredible to see. And it's followed up by DeMille's typewriter which
I love.
Yeah. Yeah. The writer in me that he typed, typed up the Squaw Man on, which is just kind of incredible. Yeah. There are a couple of interesting typewriters in this auction. There's this one, and then later on in the main entertainment section of the rest of in the coming week of Heritage, there's a Terry Southern one. The typewriters are very cool. It's nothing I've ever purchased, but boy oh boy, this is fabulous.
I love a vintage typewriter.
Yeah.
There's some great one-sheets here of sort of silent era pictures. DeMille films What's His Name, The Warrens of Virginia.
Yeah.
Carmen,
Gorgeous,
these great,
gorgeous
kind of
art.
stone lithos, I guess that these would be at the time, the printing process. And just they look like they're in incredible shape. I've never heard of these films, but Jesse Lasky, the producer, Jesse Lasky presents. And I guess this is all kind of predating this the proper studio system, but really fascinating.
And then it kind of goes, the way the catalog works is it kind of goes movie by movie. So the first big movie is a movie called Joan the Woman, which I sort of maybe assumed was Joan of Arc.
The chainmail and the if you look at the poster. Lot 11,
yes.
Dave, look at that poster. That's a Joan of Arc image if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, no, really, really gorgeous. And just incredible that basically the chainmail and the Bible, these props are still, these are 1916 props, and they look, they look as good as yesterday. Really, really just incredible. Wow. I mean, and you can see right from the get-go, Joan of Arc. I mean, epic. Again, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I love the armor. I love the armor. It's just really interesting.
And then look at this, Dave. Lot 12.
Yep.
It's a Gloria Swanson costume. Look at that. So you have Cecil B. DeMille directing Gloria Swanson.
Yeah, no, it is that kind of funny thing where, Billy Wilder was really playing with the truth. So, Norma Desmond was fake, Gloria Swanson was real.
Right.
But like in that movie, when they're showing like the old silence, the old like black and whites of her, that's from Gloria Swanson's career.
And she was the most famous.
Yeah, and she was the biggest name, whatever. Erich von Stroheim was a director.
Was the director, right.
And Cecil B. DeMille, who is in the movie, wanting to borrow her car or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was her director as well. She was giant. And so here you're just seeing, again, a film I'm not familiar with, but male and female. And these are costume designs from the film. And the other thing I will say about DeMille as we keep going here is the art for these movies, these costume designs, sometimes some of the
just
various incredible. Sort of like I guess I don't even know what to call it, like the sort of the Ralph McQuarrie stuff, if you will, the
conceptual art.
The conceptual art exactly for these movies is just incredible. Look at 9014. It's just photographs of Gloria Swanson in this film. Look at this thing. I mean, I don't know what this movie is, but it's just wild looking. Again, more art. 90018 Fool's Paradise, kind of I don't even know what, sort of an Arabian kind of a thing going on here.
Yeah, it's a Siam Royal, they're calling it. So yeah.
Wow, I mean, whether you have a connection to these movies or not, this Fool's Paradise art, some of it done by Nanacha Rambova. I mean, this stuff is beautiful. And you know what I see? You know what I see when I look at some of this stuff? You actually almost see like Padme, the Padme Queen outfits. Mm-hmm. Look at the eyes. Look at what's going on. It would not surprise me in the least that they were, up at Lucasfilm.
28 minutes in for our first Star Wars reference. Everybody,
we found a way. We found a way to
take a drink,
bring it around.
It's happened.
But I mean, just elegant and gorgeous and complicated. But I have no doubt they were looking at this as part of their research. Just really, really incredible.
Good shout.
I love seeing these black and white stills. Manslaughter 27 with tigers, live tigers.
And they just used live tigers.
Yeah, no, I mean, no CGI there. It's just like, okay, we're going to get a couple of tigers. Are they safe? Yeah, more or less.
We fed them this morning. It is called manslaughter.
Exactly. So if it accidentally happens, we'll film it. I guess some of these, there's a book, I guess, Cecil B. DeMille, The Art of the Hollywood Epic. And a lot of this art, I guess, appears in that book, which is a book I might have to
I might have
pick
to
up
grab
for
that.
myself. Just
This
really,
is great. I love the Adam's Rib stuff, Lot 28, those kind of, proto sort of Hildebrandt sort of paintings, right?
But full color concept paintings of this sort of caveman kind of stuff going on. And then with lot 30, 90030, you get to the 1923 version, the first version of Ten Commandments that DeMille did. And this piece of art of I guess Moses on Mount Sinai, I mean, this is gorgeous. I mean, this is a gorgeous piece of art. Yes, it is movie art. Yes, it is a movie collectible, I guess, but it is also just art. And
it's huge too. It's 40 by 30.
Wow. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. And then they have all these props from the Ten Commandments, all sorts of headdresses, posters
with screening dates on it, which I love. It makes it look like a play.
At the Aladdin, the Denman Theater in Girard, Pennsylvania, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. 25 cents and 50 cents. I guess 50 cents maybe for the night showings. I don't know. Or maybe adults 50 cents. I don't know. These posters are gorgeous, and then just the stills they have from what was clearly just an insane epic.
Wow, the Sphinxes, that like Arc de Triomphe thing that's there. I guess it's an Egyptian thing. The photographs, more art here.
Well, you would hear stories of them like just going out, into the like sort of leaving the city of LA, such as it was, and just, building giant whatever they needed. And then like in some cases just leaving them there, and they slowly crumble over the years.
Well, the Babylon set that was on Sunset Boulevard forever until it finally burned down, I think.
I mean,
the golden bed.
They built Egypt. Yeah. Again, the Road to Yesterday. The art is just incredible. Again, I don't know these films, but the art itself.
Yeah, this is like it's almost like a what do you call it? When they do this particular style of, it's like an etching, right? It looks like.
It very much looks like an etching. I mean, it's funny. It's like it looks like art from the periods in its own way, which is kind of interesting. But it really, I know we are talking about movie production art, but we are really looking at, and this is probably who he hired, just gorgeous illustration art. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's just that gorgeous. Check out lot 42, the Volga Boatman, a triptych concept painting by Dan Sayer Grossbeck. I mean, this is insane illustration art. This is called the Cossack's Charge. Again, the epicness of these pieces, but just gorgeous. And then of course scripts and paperwork. So 45, King of Kings. I guess that's a Jesus story.
And
now
you're getting into the 20s. So like maybe a probably not talkie yet, but like coming close to them.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but 1927 is King of Kings. Look at lot 48. Look at the scale of like these photographs. I mean, where they just looked like they, I guess, built Jerusalem. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's incredible. Like
those are just digital set extensions.
Yeah,
Dave.
exactly. Yeah. It's all green screen, and they're looking at tennis balls. Just wonderful and wild. The research, the Jesus research, is very funny. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh because they have a lot of pictures of historical Jesus and stuff. I don't know. It's just very, very funny.
Well, it's very old. Maybe they.
Yes, exactly. Photo albums. Oh, there you go. Lot
album.
53. The Cup of a Carpenter.
Yeah. That's cool.
Very neat.
It is made of wood.
Yep. The Holy Grail. That's pretty good looking. The King of Kings I'm sort of adding to my list as well as a movie. I sort of feel like I want to at least like look at it, if you will. I'm very curious.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on King of Kings in here.
And then, yeah,
Madam Satan.
Madam Satan. But look at lot 57, which has production art, and I don't know, like she's some kind of spy or something. Look at the soldiers hanging from an airplane, like in costume.
I love this. I love this. Like 30, like it's like they look like Rocketeer villains, don't they?
Yeah, the Skyway Man. I guess that is very Rocketeer.
That's cool.
Just really
you have to wonder
wonderful.
if it was an influence. You know, Dave Stevens was obsessed with the 30s, so maybe
I would have to think that was something he'd seen, Madam Satan. It sounds like a Dave Stevens title anyway, or at least
what
a
great
portfolio
title.
play. Yeah, exactly.
Dave, let's remake Madam Satan together.
Madam Satan coming soon to Netflix. With extra lens flares.
Are we going to get a theatrical release on that?
No, not at all. Not interested. They're not. Nothing. Lot 59, back to the Squaw Man. This is conceptual, like set drawings and stuff. Sorry, 58 and 59. Just really cool to see. Just, again, sets and set plans and stuff.
So this is his second go at the Squaw Man, and this one I guess is a talkie,
this is
right?
Squaw Man number 2. Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't
because he
paying attention.
redid. He like went back and redid it. He remade himself. Hitchcock did this a couple of times, but these guys would like.
It is a funny thing. It's like
they're silent.
In this world where it's nothing but remakes, Cecil B. DeMille is the original remaker.
Yeah.
So give him some credit there. So yeah, I guess this is a bigger, even better version of the Squaw Man.
Yeah.
Shot at the old Warner's Ranch. Yeah.
I love this one down here at lot 63. This Roman tunic.
Yes.
From the sign of the cross. I mean, look at that thing. That's all just made of real metal. You know what it reminds me of? The Tom Cruise costume from Legend.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Very, very kind of that scaled male kind of look. It's very
there's a funny thing
cool.
where like, for example, like even on something like your show on Dragon, where you're making obviously like arms and armor, and oftentimes certainly the arms are real, but a lot of times with the armor, you're finding like alternate things so that it's not so heavy, or trying to make things that
it's urethane, it's rubber,
right, look like metal that aren't metal, whatever. And you just get the sense that they were just firing up the forge, and this thing must have weighed like 100 pounds.
And
like
here you go. Put it on.
It's just exactly. With sewn in metal scales. I mean, there's nothing. You're just that
they
thing.
They don't make them like they used to.
Again, more posters, just
Cleopatra
gorgeous.
Painting here.
His version of Cleopatra, these paintings, this art for Cleopatra, again, whether forgetting about the fact that it's connected to the movie, the costume designs, look at 69, look at 70, these costume designs of Claudette Colbert in the role. I mean, this is just beautiful artwork. And I don't know. I do hope that like the illustration art collecting community, and maybe even a little bit of the comic art collecting community, kind of takes a peek at some of this artwork, because it's really something special, whether you are a fan of this movie or not. I really think this is something special, and really just worth checking out. Look at lot 74. With some scene concepts that are just, again, epic, and a beautiful poster design of Cleopatra, Claudette Colbert, next to sort of an obelisk with the title the title down an obelisk, the love story that has lived through the ages.
Good use of obelisk, Dave.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I wonder. I honestly wonder how many of these films still exist and are viewable.
Yes, I don't know that. Actually, it's a really good question. This was the one of all the movies that hit me that I didn't know it existed, and I really want to see it, which is The Crusades.
The Crusades,
starting with lot 75, it looks like. This is I guess he took all the Crusades. I read a little bit about this. He took all the Crusades and then kind of just cherry-picked stories and kind of made one Crusades movie. But I was laughing about it a little bit just because obviously Kingdom of Heaven finally came out, the director's cut in the unedited cut in 4K. And I'm looking at this, And obviously, the production artwork is again gorgeous. More stuff by that Grosbeck. I mean, again, epic. The costume stuff is wonderful, and then there's weapons shots. But then you get down to lot 83, and this is King Richard the Lionheart's winged helmet with crown. I mean, look at the stills of this in play. It is gorgeous. I mean,
this thing is incredible.
Yeah. This makes me want to see this movie. Yeah.
This looks like Damon's helmet.
Yes.
From
the wings, the dragon wings. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. I wonder if anyone peeked at this back in the day. You know what I mean? And didn't necessarily.
I mean, my guess is that this is probably
a common
reference
thing. Yes, to something
and
else.
to something that existed, and our show, Jeannie was always steeped in research. I'm guessing she, versus seeing this, probably saw something from the
saw
that
the same
era
thing that this was based on. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But just how wild does this movie look? And they've got a full gown, lot 84. Loretta Young played the part of Berengaria, but a full, beautiful just gown from the Crusades. Saladin hero scimitars, lot 85. Another crown for Nicholas, the Count of Hungary, his crown, which has a whole Slavic thing going on. I mean, the historical accuracy here, just the amount of whatever they were throwing at this, I guess the amount of money and research that they were throwing at these movies, it's just wonderfully wild. I mean, especially as we sit here and production has just dried up in Los Angeles, California. Yeah. Again, I don't know this movie, but I want to see it. The Plainsman, another.
If you find it,
Western.
let me know.
I will. The Buccaneer, lot 96. Just again, the artwork. I'm really stunned by the artwork. I mean,
the level of finish. And like the tightness of the work and how it's not just like loosey goosey. They really went for it with this stuff. It's really, really incredible.
Check out, and again, there's so much of this, and again, we're just calling out ones that look interesting. Check out lot 106, Northwest Mounted Police. Just this incredible sort of Indian scene that just it evokes just the just like incredible illustration art. I don't know what else to
this
I don't know what else to say.
Grosbeck was his Ralph McQuarrie. It must have been. I mean, he's worked with him over decades now. Wow.
Yeah,
Reap the Wild Wind, which looks like maybe a bit of a nautically themed film. Here
I had to look this up. Dan Sayer Grosbeck, American illustrator, muralist, and designer of visualization sketches in the pre-cinematic era. Born in 1878, he started as a reporter. His illustrations were published in the Tribune, Redbook, and Cosmopolitan magazine. He painted murals inside the Santa Barbara County Courthouse, other hotels, and then started working for DeMille. He died in 1950. There's a book on him from 2001 called Destined for Hollywood, The Art of Dan Sayer Grosbeck, that, again, I want to check out. This is incredible. Look
at lot 109, Dave. Look at this, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea action going on.
This is
here,
incredible.
right?
With the squid. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The squid grabbing
the
woman under sea. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just some of the ship stuff from Reap the Wild Wind. I mean, this is just incredible stuff. There's something lot 115, DeMille's pair of personal casting books for Samson, Delilah. So it's got the sides and I guess like some of his notes and things. Again, just wonderfully overwhelmed by this. And again, we're not doing it justice because we are trying to move, but look at lot 122. Speaking of Hedley Lamar, it's Hedley, Samson and Delilah sketches. She was considered the most beautiful woman in the world, and so she's playing Delilah here. Look at this incredible peacocked feathered gown. I mean, this work is just, again, these costume designs are incredible. I am true. The concept paintings for Samson, Delilah. Again,
She's
Epic,
very fetching.
yeah, Epic does not do it justice. Look at 133. Look at this concept artwork for like this giant statue, the Fall of Dagon, and they have the actual film frames, the storyboards. I mean, again, just
And Dave,
yeah.
what does that look like?
Which is what? What? Sorry, what do you mean?
This thing 133. The Anubis coming down in Raiders,
Indy,
maybe
yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit.
Yes, very much so. I know exactly what
Right?
you mean. Yeah, and then by the way, this is I don't know. I love this thing. Again, a movie I've never seen, but check out Lot 136. It's basically I guess the small statue of like it was basically the prelim statue for the giant statue.
The maquette.
Yeah, the maquette, exactly. I mean, how cool is this? And it says that DeMille kept this piece in his office, close to his awards table for decades. Just the idea of having sort of this,
Yeah, there it is.
you know, yeah,
In
pre-production.
In situ, you see it?
Yeah, pre-production statuette. God damn, how cool that is. Just love it. Oh, and then there's, I guess, a gold one later on. This Dagon. I got to see this thing. So I'm gonna have to add Samson Delilah
Dagon is
to this list. Oh,
is
Dagon. Sorry.
An H.P. Lovecraft character.
Oh,
obviously
interesting.
pulled from because he would pull from these very ancient religions, Sumerian stuff, and I think Cthulhu has a similar sort of. It's rooted in other things, but Dagon is one of Lovecraft's old world old god monsters that shows up in his work.
Well, really, really badass. I mean, I love it. And again, never seen the film. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's really cool looking. Check out Lot 142. This is just another
beautiful,
gorgeous painting by Harold
Huge.
von Schmidt. Yeah, giant, which is just wonderful and wild, but also, again, just incredible illustration work. These Samson Delilah pieces. This must have been some film. I mean, I'm looking at some of the film grabs, the road show programs. For people that aren't big film fans, road shows, with these epics, they would send them on these road shows. You'd get an intermission. It was a whole sort of spectacle.
Yeah, live orchestra, right?
Came to town and limited run, and it was a whole to do. And just fabulous.
This too, 44, 43,
Yep.
these paintings by Robert Fawcett. Oh, and Austin Briggs. These are different artists here doing commissioned paintings around Samson and Delilah.
Fawcett and Briggs, big illustration names.
I guess these are promotional paintings, do you think?
Yeah,
Or
I
being
think
used
so,
for
maybe.
marketing?
I think it seems more like after the fact, but I mean, again, whether it was DeMille himself or the people at, I don't know, Paramount doing it, although it seems like it was DeMille himself, like just exquisite taste, a real eye for illustration artwork. And then 153, The Greatest Show on Earth, for anyone that saw, what was the Spielberg movie about his early life of filmmaking? This is the movie that inspires him at the top with the big train crash. You know what I'm talking about?
The Fabelmans.
The Fabelmans. This is the movie, the DeMille circus movie that has this giant, and you can see in Lot 153, there's a storyboard, a concept storyboard, I guess, of the train crash. Just gorgeous. And then we get to starting with like Lot 154, we get to the Charlton Heston 10 Commandments, the 10 Commandments that I guess I grew up watching on the ABC Sunday night movie. Yeah. Every Easter. And the artwork, look at the early 150s, these various like Ramses pieces by Arnold Freiberg. I mean, these pieces are just gorgeous. The costume designs by Edith Head. So now Edith Head is rearing her head. Yes, exactly. For Nefertiti, Lot 158. Just incredible stuff. Costume designs for everybody.
Interesting, Dave, that this comes after Sunset Boulevard. So
yes, good point. Good point.
10 Commandments is 56, Sunset Boulevard is 50. So just interesting because he was sort of not being pitched as a washed up director, but he was certainly like somebody else that was sort of in the twilight of his career. And even The Greatest Show on Earth came out in 1951. So maybe that's what he was filming at the time when they had him in on Sunset Boulevard. Just a worthy of note.
Lot 168 is a Ten Commandments concept piece, and this is by
incredible.
I'm gonna butcher the name, but this is Fortunino Montagna. He was an illustrator. I've almost bought pieces by him. He specialized in a lot of like period illustration and like Bible epic stuff. Like there's always like really cool sort of like musketeer looking stuff that he did that I think sometimes were for, book illustrations and whatnot. Just a well-known name in the illustration community. If you go to the comic art fan site, the CAF, and look him up, you'll see stuff in people's collections. This work that he did on the Ten Commandments for DeMille, I mean, this is just beautiful work. More costume designs.
This is like fine art. I mean, this is like worthy of hanging in the Met
for illustration collectors. I think they gotta I hope people find out that this stuff is here, because this work is just incredible. And I'm going to call out one other piece, and it happens to be by the same guy, Montagna. 181. This is my absolute favorite piece in the entire DeMille collection. This is basically this giant illustration of the moment where Moses comes down with the commandments and finds the Hebrews worshiping the golden calf, and it's a full-on, orgy. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's full-on insanity.
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah. And in the distance, you can see Moses kind of coming down, holding the Ten Commandments, and he's going to shatter them in anger.
The 15.
This is incredible. Let me start, this is just an incredible piece of art, whether there was a movie or not. It has a starting bid of $8,000, which is nothing. I mean, I realize it's not nothing, but it is nothing. It's 32 by 26, and I to me, this is the most striking thing I've ever seen. This is just I don't have biblical art on my walls, but this is incredible. This was by far. This and the Richard helmet are my two favorite pieces in this DeMille auction. This blew me away.
This lady really likes this calf, Dave.
Yes,
I'm worried about
and
her.
They've got some close-ups of like some of the stuff, and when you go in for the close-ups, you appreciate this piece that much more. Like it is debauchery unleashed, and it is wild, and it is wonderful. And this entire Ten Commandments section, you get to
I mean, 82 looks like a scene right out of Raiders, right?
Yep.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
By the way, 184 is the parting of the Red Sea, but it also kind of looks like them digging on, like when they're digging for the Well of Souls on the cliff a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, but Epic doesn't do this stuff justice. These hand-drawn like concepts and storyboards for the chariots pursuing the Israelites. I mean, this stuff, these lots, 184, 185, 186 with the whole parting of the Red Sea. I mean, just incredible, and just the armies moving through these pieces, just wild and wonderful. Costumes, Nefertiti costumes, Ann Baxter, 188, 189, a piece of Yul Brynner's Ten Commandments. This is his, they're saying that's Charlton Heston. Oh, this is Heston when he is still being raised as an Egyptian prince and doesn't know his origins. So it's a gold wrist cuff. God, these costumes are beautiful. Wigs. I mean, this is a hell of a section. Spears.
Kept so much.
Yeah. And then they actually have, as a prop, they actually have the golden calf. They have 197, the prop golden calf idol. So you can have that sitting in your house and, just sort of get Moses angry at you.
Too bad it's not a monkey, Dave.
I know. This would be a very funny piece to have and put by your Indy jacket. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't find the hero fertility idol, but I got the next best thing, which is the golden calf from the Ten Commandments. Really, really wonderful. The Ramses miniature chariot. I mean, look at that. Just beautiful work. Yeah, this Ten Commandments section just floored me. Behind the scene photos, posters in the 204, the posters, and then we get to these crazy these versions of the Ten Commandment tablets that he had made on like Middle Eastern stone and then carved in actual like whatever version of Aramaic, and then they went on tour so that he could educate people about what the Ten Commandments were and
Incredible.
the movie itself. I guess you could open your own Ten Commandments museum. This look at on page 151 of the catalog. Just look at the wooden display with the explanation of the Ten Commandments on the side. Just wonderful. I don't know that for me was the true high point. That he continued on. There are other movies here. I don't want to give them short shrift. I just was not familiar with them.
The Buccaneer.
Yeah.
On My Honor, which is an unfinished film. Interesting.
And then it looks like you get to the back end starting in like around 217 is a little bit more of his personal stuff. So you actually get like on 220 you get a Birth of the Nation ad, like some of his like the just things connecting to the early days of cinema. Again, just sort of incredible to see. There's this wonderful picture, lot 223. This was a publicity painting of Cecil B. DeMille with like sort of great moments from all his movies behind him, and it's just just wild and beautiful. We should have these commissioned of ourselves, of like the things we've worked on behind us. What do you think?
Just our prop collections behind.
Just have Mark
behind
Ratz
us.
kind of. Just kind of have Mark Ratz do it. Did you ever see? I don't know if I've ever showed it. It's so long ago at this point. Did you ever see the poster? Did we ever talk about the poster that Phil Noto did for when Madeline had her baby naming ceremony? So this would have been many years ago.
No,
it's
love
basically
Phil Noto, though.
Phil is an incredible artist, comic artist and illustrator, a good friend. And Phil did this beautiful piece, which was basically, it kind of almost looks like our. We should point out Phil did our logo. He did the Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of logo. And what it basically looks like is it's like a crib, like as if the crib is surrounded by movie props. So it's like a crib in our logo. It's kind of like that a little bit, like as if that's where the baby was going to be kept. Yeah, I'll put a picture of that up. This was just wonderfully. I feel like I took a film class looking through this catalog, and I mean that in the best way possible. I looked up so many things, titles, books, camera equipment.
Here's a Graflex camera, David. All comes back around. Lot 230.
Make that into an early lightsaber.
Yeah,
an early wood and fabric lightsaber. Just some of the plans, 232 rolled blueprints for the DeMille studio. I mean, and so many Bibles. I guess he came to his epics honestly. Hand-tailored suits. You always see him in those beautiful outfits with like vests and stuff. And a separate, smaller version of the Commandments. All sorts of personal stamps and stuff from his own life and his book collection, like things that he would put into woodblock stamps with his name on it. I mean, just a Hollywood collector to get like a piece of his early stationery or his Christmas cards. I mean, these are they're not giving it away for free, but they're very, very reasonable lots to grab. Really a foundational piece of Hollywood history. If your instinct was somehow you don't know who Cecil B. DeMille is and you kind of moved along, go check this out. I mean, I really, I really think it's something special. Of some of his awards, his Golden Globe, it looks like, from the for the greatest show on earth. Um, this is a hell of a collection, and I do hope someone manages to buy a lot of it and keep it together, because obviously this catalog this catalog to me will be, even if I don't end up buying anything from this catalog, I'm going to keep this catalog, because I really actually like the film history of it all. So yeah, really wonderful.
It's incredible that the family kept this all together for so long. It's just a remarkable sort of journal of this incredible film director's life.
So that is July 15th, and that starts basically the 4 days. So it's the DeMille auction on the 15th, and then that is followed by 3 days of the Heritage Hollywood Entertainment auction. And we thought we'd keep going and try and get through, just because this is such a monster. On day one, Wednesday the 16th at 11 a.m. is session one, which is the Bob Peak collection, which is its own, also its own catalog. And so we thought we'd sort of take you through a journey. This is Treasures from the Bob Peak collection. This was put in by his family, I believe by the son, Thomas Peak, who I guess I'll cover my mouth. We interviewed, or we didn't interview. I don't know, maybe one or the other.
I think we did. I think it's going to happen.
I'd like to think we did.
I think
it's going to happen. And the cover piece is the Apocalypse Now poster, which we can debate when we get to it, but perhaps if one of the single greatest, or one of the single greatest, top 2 or 3 movie poster art pieces to ever come to auction. I certainly think it will be record breaking. We can start with that. But should we dive into this?
Let's do it.
This is just truly incredible. The introduction to the catalog, I believe, is written by Thomas Peak, I believe. Yes, it's there. Thomas Peak is an artist and a photographer in his own right. And basically he kind of gives a little overview, not just of the hits, but sort of his father's career. And really incredible. And this is session one, and I love this illustration style of Peak. It starts off with a piece that I'm not as familiar with. This is a piece of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers from the early 80s. And it is so Peak, where they are there, but they're not there. I mean, I don't even know, how to describe
it. Like Cubist.
Yeah. There's an abstraction to it, and yet at the same time, it's got that sort of, I guess, 70s illustration feel.
The lens flare thing that he does.
The real lens flare. But I always remember as a kid the Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics posters he did, and stamps that he did for I think it's the 80 Olympics. I maybe I'm getting my dates wrong. I think it's the 80 Olympics. But Lot 2, basically 89002, is the final key plate from the Rollerball portfolio, which was a portfolio they put out titled Great Moments from Rollerball. And Rollerball is a movie that when I think of Peak always kind of comes to mind. I think it's one of his just truly great pieces. And
because that poster
that poster
is the image of Rollerball, right?
But the energy and action in this portfolio piece, the movement, the violence, the it's so alive. That's a piece that I kills me. And there's another piece here. Again, not even a movie that I love. It's a good movie. It's a fine movie. But Lot 90004. This is The Comfort of Strangers. This is a 1990 sort of European mysterious, like a lot of sort of like. But look at this piece. I mean, this looks like something that could have been out of the Cecil B. DeMille collection. The work on this is just beyond incredible. It's kind of Gustav Klimt-esque, and that's mentioned in the description. The sort of stylized nudes, and basically it's his final published work. And he received basically the Lifetime Key Art Lifetime Achievement Award, obviously well deserved. Again, I'm not talking about this as a piece of movie poster art. I am talking about this as a piece of illustration art. And I just think it is truly incredible. And while it certainly is Klimt, is certainly influenced by Klimt, it is never not Bob Peak. And I love it. I just love it. License to Kill, Timothy Dalton
this
piece.
Is great.
We've seen pieces. Yeah, it's a comp. We've seen pieces similar to that. There are multiple other Dalton pieces. That's a really nice one. Lot 6 is a Hunt for Red October comp that I absolutely love. The Connery.
I don't know. I don't know that I ever knew that he was associated with that movie, because I mean I think the poster ended up being a photo poster, not an art poster, right?
I think.
Am I missing?
Maybe there's multiples. I thought he did the finished one, but I'm gonna, as we're chatting, I'm looking just to see. Well, it's not. Let's see. Maybe I'm. Nope, you're right. I mean, I guess they ultimately went with sort of a more simplistic sort of, but there is I guess a version. It just wasn't. This is I guess the version that wasn't used, and then they kind of took the idea of the big face and the sub, and they sort of simplified it. But I guess he designed it as well. Who knows? Yeah,
he laid it out. Yeah.
They have a lot of interesting just cool back behind the scenes shots of him working in his studio. He was kind of a cool looking guy. Like he had a big flowing head of hair. Yeah. Lot 7 is the original art to the Hair poster, the key artwork for the Hair poster. I remember seeing this in the theater. I'm stopping here because these are real favorites of mine. Lot 8 is key advertising art for the Japanese poster for Excalibur, which is gorgeous. It's I guess it's is that supposed to be Lancelot and
Guinevere, right?
And Guinevere, or is that Arthur sleeping with Morgana? Because it almost has it almost looks a little bit like Helen Mirren. No, maybe, I don't know. Hard to say. Anyway.
No, A Lover's Embrace of Lancelot and Guinevere.
Oh, okay. It is Lancelot and Guinevere. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. And then forgetting about 8, not that 8 is incredible, but look at Lot 9. This is the key artwork to the poster.
This is incredible.
I think it's going to go insane, but there's no way I'm not throwing a bid on this sucker. This is, I love that movie. I watch it all the time. And this poster is everything I love about the movie. I mean, and it just full on everything I love about it. And one of the things that's really interesting is, in the movie itself, they are constantly, doing like the green light off of the armor and stuff. And like it really is captured in here. And I just love that that little Merlin sort of peeking out from in the middle there. Excalibur.
And how it suggests Camelot sort of behind him, like his helmet is becoming Camelot in the flow of water or light or whatever that is. It's beautiful.
I mean, to me, this is one of the all-time great posters.
Yes, agreed.
Just really wonderful. This next one is something I'd never seen before. I guess these were
never saw this
alternate comp arts of some of the faces of Apocalypse Now, and I guess Duvall was going to be in the poster, and then like they were fighting over, I guess, whether it was his credit or his pay, and ultimately he's not in the poster. So anyway, but you get a Duvall face there. Lot 11, one of the bridge comps, which I think we've seen before, still wonderful. But then we get to Lot 12, and this is the final key art for the Apocalypse Now poster. A healthy starting bid of $250,000, but I believe it will blow it away. And there's a quote over a picture of the piece which says, "Of all my movie work, it is my work on Apocalypse Now I am most proud of, Bob Peak." And I cannot argue with that. I really cannot. I think this is one of the all-time, as I said, great movie posters, top 5 of all movie posters. And I could be wrong, but I'm guessing this will end up being the most expensive piece of movie poster art to date. That's just a guess.
That's my guess. Yeah. That's a fair presumption.
Yeah. 18 by 24. I mean, I don't know what to say about this piece. I mean, there's that famous quote from Coppola, my movie isn't about Vietnam. It is Vietnam.
It is Vietnam, yeah.
And this painting is Vietnam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, this painting is the movie. The movie is Vietnam. Therefore, this painting is Vietnam. That's how that works. That's some old-fashioned logic for you. This to me will be worth a trip to Heritage just to see the piece. And by the way, I should point out, please check out, we did go to Heritage, and please check out all our videos on our YouTube channel to sort of see mine and Bart's visit to Heritage Beverly Hills, where a lot of this stuff was on display. This is the most incredible thing ever. Oh, no, please. That's not the point of the story. I would like to bid on this just to say I bid on it, even though I will be outbid. How about that? I would just like to throw, I would like to be the first bidder on it so that I get blown away. Just incredible.
I mean, this is my, this movie came out within days of my birth. I've always felt a weird sort of connection to it. I've watched it many times through my life.
You were both late and over budget? No?
Yeah.
As babies?
All true. They made a documentary about me. By the way, that documentary, Hearts of Darkness, is getting its own 4K release.
I saw that, but
a separate 4K
But I
release.
feel like for the moment, it's only in Europe, I believe, as our good friends on the Digital Bits have shared with us. I think it's coming. It's coming here eventually. I think
I can make it happen.
I think they're right now showing the movie. It's kind of on tour in Europe, and I'm guessing it's going to come here in the fall, and then they'll do the disc when it comes here. Did I ever tell you my first episode of Saturday Night Live, as a writer, which would have been September 1992, was hosted by Nicolas Cage, and I pitched an idea that I feel like he was not interested in, and I was such a baby writer. Whether he was interested or not, I did not know how to do it. And it probably needed to be a film piece, which certainly at that time sort of in SNL, the 92-93 season, there were not a lot of film pieces in general, not like now where they do film pieces. But the idea that I sort of pitched for Nick Cage, it was called Barbecues of Darkness, and it was a documentary about a family barbecue at Francis Ford Coppola's house, and he's kind of going insane trying to make the greatest barbecue ever, and and the flames and the special effects, and he's got like the guy from the Philippine army setting the coal for the fire, and it's just a lot of, it was really stupid and funny and dumb, but
That's funny.
It was just a pitch that never went anywhere. Are you a player on any of this Peak stuff? Let me start there.
I mean, look, I love Apocalypse Now. I was getting to, it's my favorite Vietnam movie. For a decade of great films, the 70s. It's one of my favorite 70s films. I mean, it's really I've always liked it, but it's really grown on me, and I think about it all the time. It's a reference in a lot of the things that I do and write. I feel like I've walked in stride with that movie as a film fan, but also as a writer for so long. I would love, in a different world, I would love to be bidding on it. It's just not going to happen.
I don't see how we win it. Yeah, I don't see how. I just think it's going to go crazy.
It's not in my purview to be getting that piece. But it'll be an exciting one to watch. Certainly, I have the original poster in my my movie poster collection. I mean, I would love to have something from Peak. I've never owned a Peak piece. I mean, Dalton
Peak,
was my Bond growing up.
Peak prelims, which are really nice.
That's
I have
cool.
other comps. I have some Star Trek comps, which are really wonderful.
Yeah. The con stuff is great. That Star Trek 4, the final poster art came up a couple years ago, which I sort of regret not going for because that was an awesome one. But like this Dalton piece, I mean, that's cool. I'll take a look at that. He was my Bond.
I think this could be a very reasonable piece within this auction, just because I think he's your Bond. Obviously, he's a lot of people's Bond, but he's not. It's not who people are thinking about. Number one,
right?
And it's obviously an unpublished comp. I do think this is something that I think will be achievable. I'm going to be a player, I think, or I'm going to try on the Excalibur piece. I don't necessarily think I'm going to be successful, but
see, because I like the Japanese poster art one too.
I like it too.
Not that I prefer it.
I didn't know that totally piece until years later. I have to say, unfortunately, I just wasn't familiar with it. And the one sheet is the one sort of I had a postcard of it on my wall.
That's cool.
During college. I love this piece, and I have the Uther helmet in my collection.
Yep.
And I really do love the movie. But I got to say that Comfort of Strangers art I think is just gorgeous too.
That's incredible.
And the starting bid on that is only $12,500.
It's only $12,000.
I mean, that is just gorgeous art.
I mean, that's a proper piece of fine art. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that these others aren't, but that stands on its own. You could just put that up in the house without knowing what it was. And
I realized that this Peak thing is sort of session one of the overall Hollywood Entertainment auction, which will be the 15th, 16th, 17th the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and that the DeMille is the 15th, which is sort of its standalone as part of this 4-day extravaganza. But the artwork in the sort of the DeMille artwork into this session one Peak artwork, and there is more artwork to come. There's John Alvin art and stuff coming up in the rest of this heritage auction, but it is an art buyer's just
bonanza.
Extravaganza buffet, something. Really wonderful and incredible.
By the way, neither here nor there, but the Excalibur is getting its own, finally, at last, 4K release.
Yes.
This year. It sounds like Arrow is going to be doing it, who is that's the independent label that did the incredible Conan the Barbarian release, and Conan the Destroyer, but Conan the Barbarian as the watchable of the two films. And that's very exciting because that it will get the full treatment. It will look and sound incredible, but keeping its kind of analog filmic quality to it without becoming super digital.
They're not going to try and fix it. You know what I mean?
There's going to be no AI upscaling on an Arrow release, which is very exciting, just because that film deserves to be seen as big and glorious as you can. So very, very timely with that. I mean, Dave, honestly, in a bit of a different world, I would be looking at an in on the Japanese poster art for Excalibur, just because I think that's if you come at me with like Bob Peak poster artists, like posters that come to mind,
your brain goes there.
Apocalypse Now, and then I think of Excalibur.
Look, I think it's worth keeping an eye on. I mean, I realize we'll talk more about sort of we're going to have some live episodes where we're kind of talking a little bit about what we're into and whatnot, and a chance for you guys to ask questions, and hopefully we'll have on someone from Heritage and ask some questions and whatnot. But as we talk about like what we're interested in, I think you should at least, as they say, mark it. I think you should track it, because I think. Again, I don't want to sit here and go, it's going to be a bargain. I don't think it's going to be a bargain. But again, I think it's a slightly lesser known image from Excalibur, and that you might be able to make a you might be able to not steal it, but get it without like feeling like, oh my God, what have I done? You won't be sitting on the bathroom floor going, she was laughing at me. So yeah, which is
maybe about other things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but not that.
Yeah,
it's really gorgeous. And maybe that just wraps up sort of part one of this catalogs extravaganzas. Wow. DeMille and Peak. Wow. Just giants. And then we'll get into the rest of it in the next episode. This was fun. Nice to be back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wonderful to be back. Going into a 1,000-page long catalog to start.
We just chunked a little of it off. We chunked session 1 off. But I'm not sure it'll make a difference. But yeah, this is a lot.
But join us again next week. We'll get into the rest, the more contemporary part of the auction, with all that stuff that you guys like to hear us wax on about. And we'll be back with many more episodes to come this season, all sorts of guests and topics and things like that. And then we'll see where we are after that. But follow us at Props Podcast on all social channels. Watch our YouTube as we go through the catalog. Love us. Like us. Write a review and
spread the word. We're looking for ideas on how to sort of spread our reach. Should we have a Discord? Would that help anybody? Would you people want to be on a Discord? Would you be willing to be on a Discord if Ryan...
Do you know what a Discord is?
I was about to say, if I'm not there that much, because I don't even know really exactly what a Discord
what
is.
It is. Yeah.
But would that be interesting? Would it be interesting for us to have a Discord? Would it be interesting for us to, I don't know, sponsor one of the Facebook prop collecting groups to try and put the word out there? Do you think people already know about us there? I don't know. We're looking for ideas.
Does anybody know Guillermo del Toro? Can you get us in? Can we have him on as a guest?
Does anybody know Cecil B. DeMille? Can they see if he'll come? We just said some really nice things about his stuff. Maybe he would pop on.
We did.
We'll talk to you guys soon. See you next week.